I just saw the most ridiculous thing. The Miami Hurricanes are only a 3-point favorite over the Florida Gators this weekend. Insane to me considering Miami was a 17.5-point favorite over South Florida this past weekend. And we all know that USF beat Florida in Gainesville. We all saw that Florida got beaten by LSU in the DJ Lagway. Can't avoid throwing interceptions. But we'll talk about that game later this week. I got to talk about these three freshmen, man. Miami is in a really, really good place because there are players that are young players, true freshmen who are making an immediate impact on this roster, on this team, for this team. And they're a large part of why this team has been so successful so far this season. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts of the topic and the comments that I have on these guys. We're talking about no one other than Malachi Toney, Bryce Fitzgerald, Joshua Moore. These guys are impact players, immediate impact. Obviously, the most impactful of them all has been Malachi Toney. This guy has come in, stepped in immediately. He is the Miami Hurricanes leading receiver, 18 catches, 228 yards, 1 touchdown. Lots of yak yardage, man. He is a playmaker. He is shifty, quick. He is a bona fide baller. And according to Carson Beck, might even have a 50-inch vertical leap. The dude has an all-around incredible athlete, incredibly skilled, and you can see he is a thinker of the game as well, not just someone who goes out there and makes plays. He seems very methodical in approach and calculated in how he approaches the game. Hard worker. Teammates say he's in the locker room 5:30 in the morning. He's catching balls early in the morning. He studies the game. He studies film. He brings it all to the practice field, and you're seeing that happen on in the game, man. And we're not talking about in the game against bums. We're talking about Notre Dame. We're talking about USF, who was coming off 2 ranked wins. This young man is a special talent, one that, like I said after the week 1, I see Malachi Toney being somebody. That's after week 1 or week 2. I see that young man being in the Hurricanes Football Hall of Fame at some point. He'll be in the Hurricane football. He'll be in the Ring of Honor. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. If he is healthy and stays healthy, continues to do what he's doing, this young man is going to be a Hall of Famer in Hurricane football, and he will be a first-round draft pick. That is my genuine belief. And it's something that we haven't had here in a minute, where you have a true freshman walk in the door and have this type of impact, an impact that is from the inside. It's not like you got to beat it out of him. You have to push him. You see a guy who seems to want it. He has that want to. And that want to, especially in today's football, today's sports, it's special and it's different. So many of these athletes today are coddled, spoiled, pampered, get everything they want, never been told no. And they think they're bigger than the program, bigger than the sport. And it's why you see guys leaving after a year in a program because they didn't get what they wanted, or they didn't get the amount of passes thrown to them, or they didn't play that much because there were guys ahead of them. You don't see that from this young man. You don't see that. You see a guy who's here. He's in it to win it, and you can see that he was brought up properly when it comes to his approach to football and approach to everything, in fact, because so many guys quit today. So many guys need to be pushed. I want the guy that's going to walk in the room and say, I'm here. I want it. And I'm going to show you that I want it. And I'm going to do the things necessary to make that abundantly clear. I'm going to be that guy where 23-year-olds are looking up to me. 17-year-olds are looking up to me. They're looking at me. You know what I mean? And that is a special quality that I see from Malachi Toney, because his teammates are talking about it, man. His teammates rave about him. I mean, think about it. 17 years old, they rave about him. He's special. But he is one of a few right now. There are other players. I mean, if you look at the depth chart of the Hurricanes, there I think are 4 or 5 true freshmen on the 3 deep depth chart. That's impressive. True freshmen on the 3 deep depth chart, that's big time. And I think if obviously that kid Hayden Lowe hadn't gotten hurt, he would probably be in that conversation. So it's unfortunate that he got. We finally got a glimpse of Joshua Moore this past weekend against USF. 2 touchdowns, big plays. That deep ball that he caught from Carson Beck, that ball was underthrown. That was not a good throw. Moore went back, grabbed it at its height, and never let that ball go as the DB is trying to punch that ball out. Strong hands, strong arms. He went up to the point to catch it. 6'4", 215, big guy. He's a big dude at this age. This kid he's gonna be special. He's gonna be special. Carson Beck said after the game, all he does is make plays in practice. That's all he does. He's always making plays. He said that I think in the first scrimmage they had, I think he said that he caught 3 touchdown passes just the first time he worked with him. Like, it is 6'4", 215 at this age, that size, that strength, that ability, and you're on the field in game 3 and making plays against USF, a ranked team. And I mean, let's be real. He was the first 2 touchdowns. He made plays. And that's special. You got to look out for this guy because he's going to be serious. And consider the fact that right now in the wide receiver room, 2 of your best 4 wide receivers are true freshmen who are getting major playing time, who are getting important reps in real games. We're not talking about getting minutes against Bethune-Cookman. We're not talking about getting minutes against some trash can opponent. We're talking about snaps against Notre Dame and snaps against USF. And this Saturday against Florida, they're going to be major parts of the offense once again because they're great players and they're ready to play right now. And they're ready to play right now because of attitude, work ethic, desire, that desire, that passion for greatness. Like that stuff matters. You got guys that want to be great. There are a lot of guys that talk about wanting to be great. We've seen plenty of them come through this program. They talk about wanting to be great, but are they willing to put in the work to be great? It was a funny thing I saw recently with Shaq and his son, Sharif O'Neal. Shaq was talking to Sharif O'Neal about if he's putting in the work for basketball, blase, if he wants to be in the league, etc. And he says to him, well, what's going on? What are you doing? And Sharif says to him, yeah, I'm working out. I'm getting ready I got invited to the Sacramento Kings, I think it was, training camp or whatever the hell. And he says to him, are you prepared to sacrifice everything? Because that's what it takes. All right, how many birthdays did I miss? A lot. How many shows did I miss? How many this did I miss? You have to be prepared to sacrifice everything to be great. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but that's what professional athletes, the elite athletes, have to do in order to have greatness. They have to be willing to put in that time that the other guy is not willing to put in. They have to be willing to sacrifice what the other guy is not willing to sacrifice. And it rang true because he said, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. We're in a position where you don't have to give up everything in life for this. I gave it all up. He said, he even lost his marriage over it, etc. But, and I'm sure he did other things. But these are the types of athletes that Miami has not had in quite some time. Those guys that are willing to put in the work, that means they're giving up other stuff to be great. And we sure as hell haven't seen it from true freshmen. We have not seen it from true freshmen. So then you look at Bryce Fitzgerald. Bryce Fitzgerald, He had his first major action against Bethune, gets an interception. What does he do now against South Florida? Another interception. Huge play. It's 21-6. Interception. Sets up a touchdown, making 28-6 going into the half. This young man's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. And he's not the starter right now. He's behind, I think it's Zachariah Poyser. But he's right there, man. He's getting major minutes, major reps. And when he's out there, he's making plays. Like right now, I look at the depth chart. You've got freshman Donta Simpson is the second string DT. Herbert Scroggins, the third, is a third string D end. Kellen Wiley's a third string linebacker. Chris Ewald, the third string linebacker. Bryce Fitzgerald, second string safety. And that's just on the defense. You go to the offense, Gerard Pringle Jr. has got 2 touchdowns rushing. He had one against South Florida. I know he's not getting major carries right now, but he's getting opportunity. He's getting opportunities right now to make plays in games that matter. And that's going to go a long way for this team. You have as a third string wide receiver, Dalen Upshaw. Obviously, Joshua Moore is the backup to Keelan Marion. And Marion had a great game against South Florida. Barack Shaw's listed as one of the backup tight ends. Luca Gilbert's listed as one of the backup tight ends. So there are guys that are in this 2 and 3 deep roster. Like Miami hasn't had true freshmen in the 2 deep. Not because they were good enough. Maybe because they had to, because they had nobody else, but not because they were good enough. Not because they were guys that could come out there and make plays. And we're going to see a lot more of these guys get reps as the season goes on. But right now, as a Hurricane fan, you've got to be very, very excited looking at these three young kids, Malachi Toney, Joshua Moore, and Bryce Fitzgerald, and say, yo, it's one thing to recruit talent. It's another thing when talent comes in ready. Because these aren't guys that have been developed. Player development is a long game. These are guys that came in ready to play. And they're not 5-star athletes. I don't think any of these guys was a 5-star athlete. I think Moore is a 4. I think Fitzgerald might have been a 3 or a 4. And Malachi Toney is a 3-star. But they're out there and they're playing like 5-star guys. And that's what Miami guys back in the day, when I grew up, used to look like. They might be 3 stars nationally, but we knew what they were. These dudes were 5-star level athletes who just were 5'9", 160. But you throw Roscoe Parrish on that field. Oh, boy. You throw Devin Hester on that field. Oh, boy. You throw these guys, you throw Santana Moss on that field. Oh, boy. And you go down the list of guys over the years. You put those dudes out there and they make plays, man. So I'm loving what I'm seeing, and you should be excited about it too. University of Florida is this Saturday. Again, we'll be doing some videos on this game coming up. But be excited, man, because we haven't seen something like this. At least I can't remember seeing something like this in quite some time. Maybe we've had a guy here and there, but 3 guys making major impacts immediately. Yo, this is some good stuff. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate y'all. This is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.